All right, good morning, good morning. It is May 18th, it is 6:31. What up? It's Thursday. Hope everyone's feeling well. My name is Scott Redler, the Chief Strategic Officer of T3 Live. This is the 6:30 Club. That's the disclosure. Let's take a quick look here at the charts while I say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Looks like Twitter picked us up. Might be a good day, especially since we have a little follow through to yesterday's strength. Traders love a little follow through, and this morning we're getting a little bit. Yes, a little bit. Anyway, what up? We got Mickey in the house. There you go. We got Mike. We got Mr. Bid. We got Jay Tar from Arizona. How you doing? Anybody know this song? This is a good one. Let's get this a little closer here. Who else we got? We got It's in the house. Where's Max and Mike? You sleeping late today, buddy boy? We got my buddy Rob Pinnell. Or is it too crazy in lacrosse season? What up, Dakota? What up, Brian? What up, Mr. Byrne? All right. It's 6:32. We got Vienna, Georgia. Where's my friend from Spain, Marbella? Anyway, good morning to you. Oh, here we go, Fresh Meadows. All right, Del Rey, let's do it. So hopefully everyone's feeling good. Hopefully yesterday you didn't fall asleep at the wheel. Yes, we were talking about how tight the range and the spies and the Qs were, and how Tech was still providing leadership. And around 10:30 in the morning, I sent out a chart to the Alpha team. I'm like, guys, if we finally have some participation in the banks, the regional banks, energy stocks are on lower, the small caps are perky. Maybe today's the day we finally clear this small inside range in the spies. Oh, Tesla was really good. First big trade in Tesla for me in a while. I had options. I still have stock. We'll get to that. So finally, you look here. You had a break above 412.81. That was your first spot. Why was it your first spot? Well, that was that was Tuesday's high, right? And then you had another spot here at 414.54, and we ended up hitting a high of hey. By the way, I just trimmed some spies as it flashes red by the Alpha team. So by the way, the Alpha team gets to see what I buy and sell real time. So anyway, this is everybody talking. So those are the positions I have. Some of them are from early in the week. Some of them I put on yesterday. This is my crew. You guys are my 6:30 crew, but this is like my day in, day out, 24 hours a day. Well, not 24 hours a day. I do go home and spend time with the family. Anyway, we've spoken about a lot of these things and why. Starting from last week when I was on with Liz Clayman, talking about how I thought Amazon and Google were going to play some catch up. Apple is still a little wishy-washy, but Tesla, they made AI and UPST, from Monday and then held through. But anyway, so as you can see, I'm a little directional coming into today. So when you get a little bit of a move up, it adds to yesterday's gains, and day and a half moves happen, which hopefully we have a little continuity and a little continuation. But we'll see. This is yesterday's high of 415.86. This was the high from May 1st, 417.61, and then here's 418.31. So that's your daily chart. You look at the weekly chart, and we still haven't even poked our head above this range. It's just starting to happen. Okay, just starting, right? So if we were to get an extended move, not saying we are, I'm saying if. Okay, some people are like, where do you think we can go? Well, if we get above 417.60 and then maybe 418.31, this is last summer's high. Remember last summer when Mike Wilson and the crew was like, hey, there's no way we're going to rally. We're in a recession. Meanwhile, the spies went all the way up to 431, knocked the teeth out of the shorts that were trying to follow the analysts versus the price action. So we'll see what happens here. It's been pretty tight. So you've been here for a while. Couldn't break below this or that. So now maybe we'll see what happens here. Can we get above this area to see a move into this spot over the next few weeks? That'd be nice. I'd love to. If that were to happen, though, make sure you're not following the perma bears. You're following those who are looking for setups, looking for patterns, looking to use a tier system and a process and make and net money, because that's how we get paid for a living, right? So anyway, it'll be interesting. This is your, we've been in this spot now for a long time. Okay, so if we were to break to the upside, just don't fight it right away. Hey, who knows? Maybe it's a false breakout. You break out and you come back below. You do a red dog reversal sell and things fall apart. But as of now, it feels a little bit more like, that's not the case. But we'll see. I am trimming some. I always trim when a gap is in my favor, and then I try and figure out what's next. So with that being said, here we are once one more time. There's that 417. There's that 418. You go to the Qs. The Qs have been leading the way. The Qs have been talking about this cup and handle pattern that's been on the move pretty much for a while now. We had 331 yesterday. Last summer's high is 334. Yeah, that could bring out a few sellers. Ultimately, we just held the 8-day this entire time. So if you bought dips instead of pressed, you did just fine. And at this point, we'll see what's next. Again, take trades along the way. Look for setups. And some other sectors, like I went long ARC for the first time in a while yesterday because I thought, hey, maybe ARC could play a little catch up. You have a move, a little bull flag maybe, and we'll see what happens there. Some people are like, well, it already had a big move. I'm like, really? You think this had a big move? Look at the weekly chart of ARC. This is where ARC is. Look how only down here. Meanwhile, it's crazy, right? You look back, though. I like when I look back at weekly charts and people are like, hey, how did this happen? And all of a sudden you see how this happened. ARC had a huge move and broke right here at like 146. And then if you missed that, this was really where, it told you run like hell at 113, and then it continued all the way down. So, hey, maybe there's a move here. If there's a move, it could probably see 47-ish again. That wouldn't be so bad. We're seeing some high growth names that had some decent numbers and a big gap up that are showing some continuation. So new little active sequences to massage, which is what we try and do. We try and massage active sequences or trade them using a tier system. I'll get to some tickers. So anyway, that would be healthy if that continues. Some people are trading that, or some people are trading IWM. IWM perked its head out of this little spot also. Everyone's talking about how there's such animal spirits. We just got out of a range for 31 days, and this is where the IWM is. And this is where we were in February. So anyway, we'll see. KRE had a decent move because of WAL, which I think is called Western something or something. They basically came out and said that their deposits weren't leaving and helped the regional banks. When the regional banks aren't lower, there's no sell programs, and that's what helped the broader indices, which gave me conviction to add to my SPY calls, getting the SPYs besides my tech names. Aloha from Honolulu. Aloha to you. Actually, my best friend's wife's there with about 7 girls, I think. What's it called? Celebrating her 50th. I had my 50th in October. I didn't go to Hawaii. I went to Colombia with about 11 guys. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, you got to have fun in life, right? While you can, because life's way too short. So anyway, into this area, I would not be adding KRE. If anything, I'd be trimming some. But this was a nice lower level move, a low, a higher low, and there you go. Anyway, so that helped fuel the move. So now, what's moving and where am I looking? How am I making money? Well, on Monday, I talked about buying a dip in NVIDIA and AMD, and those were 2 really good trades. AMD has been unbelievable. At this point, though, there's really no setup there. We bought it into this 8-day moving average. Remember all my ebooks that I posted about the 8-day moving average, how you want to buy into there and you don't sure when it's above it? Well, not only did it hold it, it did that, and then it cleared 99 and 103. So this has been a really nice, fast and furious move. NVIDIA has been fantastic. I sold mine yesterday just to book it, but all in all, what a leader, just above the 8-day consolidations, bull flag go, and I bought into here, and look at this, it went above 300, cleared 298, and it's up this morning. So if you use my day count rule, though, kind of like day 1, day 2, day 3. This is day 4 higher. I'd be trimming into that. So the semis have been absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Google. Me and my girl Liz Clayman went over this pattern. Okay, right in here is where we got some huge size ahead of that event, and now I'm still. I traded the stock into here, and then I flipped over into calls. And those are up like 150%, so that's nice. Yeah, now we're into my area that I think you should be selling. If you remember, sometimes you have to see the weekly chart because everyone's like, oh, look at the size of this move in Google. You're out of your mind, Red Dog. I'm like, well, look at the weekly chart. Look where it came down from. So remember this bull flag? On Saturdays, every Saturday for like 6 weeks, I've been putting the candlestick cheat sheet and chart pattern cheat sheet to say can make you money. Well, you know what? Doesn't this look like one of the bull flags I put up there? And then boom, right into this area. So now it's probably going to need to chill out there a little bit. So not really a setup. Where are the setups? Well, the setups are a little far and few between. I think Meta setup. I'm long Meta. It's been awesome. It just consolidated above this earnings gap. It cleared this 240. I would say if this can get above 245, perhaps it gets towards 250 or so, you could add to it. You look here at the weekly chart of Meta, and you'll see that there is still some room here. This is the weekly chart. Remember the weekly chart. This is where you should have sold it back in 2021, and then the confirmation of the sell, and then right here it took back the 8-day, and it's been in a nice trend since. So you're getting another bull-type flag pattern right here, so it does seem as if this could work its way to 250 to 255, before it's all done. Yeah, Microsoft's got a bull flag, so I'm long this. This is something I think you might be able to add to if it can clear 245. Microsoft's been awesome. Okay, look at that bull flag on Microsoft. And look where the high is. Holy cow. Anyway, it's been working out really well. It started to leave the bull flag yesterday when it got above 313. So it could continue. I just think this 316-ish area might be some resistance, so be a little careful here with Microsoft adding, but it's still working really well. One of my positions actually with this one. This was a great pre and post earnings play. Why? Because it ran into earnings and then it gave you a pivot to trade against right here. Remember that 292? Well, if you bought it versus 292 and added above 299.57, you've been in a nice swing trade. You haven't worried about the debt ceiling. You haven't worried about the recession. Mike Wilson, who cares what he says about earnings? This was great. It's the way it acted. TO running on animal spirits or something more. I don't know what TIO is. I'll take a look, though. So bottom line is Microsoft's been great. Apple, maybe it cleaned out the last sellers post-earnings. Maybe. It's been not where the money's been since earnings, but maybe that changes. Why? Because what you had here is a little bit of a red dog reversal where it went into the earnings gap, probably trapped some shorts, got some people out, washed them out, and came back in, and now you have a bull flag here. So if Apple could get going, that would add some fuel to this rally. I'm not saying it will. I'm just saying, still wound up holding the majority of this move and reversed nicely, which helped the market. So maybe it gets above this 173 to get back towards 174.59. Overall, although Apple's been lethargic for a week and a half, it could be just digesting, not lethargic, digesting what's been a big move. And then if you look here on the weekly chart, it's just consolidating again. Can't get too bearish if Apple hangs out here and then takes this out to get towards 183. Been above the 8-day this entire time. That's why we follow the 8-day and the 21-day, because what's above it, it's strong. You try and belong it. Maybe Apple is stuck as it doesn't have it. Yeah, I think other things are playing catch up. That's what's happening. Stocks that are in the lower end of the range where the valuations are lower are trying to play catch up while Apple, which is the leader, hangs out, which is why we went with Google and Amazon. So let's go to those. I still think there's room in both. Actually, I went over Google. I think Amazon, which we went over here, okay, this is when we got some size in Amazon at like 105, 106. This is 121. So I still think Amazon is viable to 121. And if you look at the weekly chart, it just all it did is it's filling a void. Again, you look at when you could have sold, your double top and this and that. But anyway, I've been putting this up here. Here's 114. Here it cleared 109. I would think 120-ish, which it has some room towards. And then who knows? It maybe does a whole nother setup. So Amazon, Google playing catch up. Meta's been leading. Apple's been, a go-to name all year. And AMD I did before. AMD was reborn and gave us a great trade early this week. Now you got to be careful. Same thing with NVIDIA, a little extended. And then yesterday, for the first time in a while, see these things? No, I'm kidding. Every day I'm in the sauna, friggin' 150 reps, listening to some motivational type feed the brain stuff to get myself situated for the day. I was like, all right, maybe Tesla could finally wake up. Tesla was sold on the news that they might have a new CEO earlier than expected. And if it didn't rally yesterday when Musk did his whole big speech with Faber or interview, it was never going to. So PS, let's not go to the weekly chart first. Let's go to the daily. The The battleground was right here. Half the battle is figuring out where is the damn battleground. So the battleground yesterday was, to me, 169.76. You know, this was the candle that was pretty damn bearish when it filled the gap up to 177. They sold it on a new potential CEO. Everyone's like, oh, they're going to get a new Twitter CEO. The market, it's going to rally and go nuts. Well, it didn't. It came in. So in order for it to negate this candle, it had to get above 169.76, and it did. And it showed relative strength because the guys on the alpha team were all talking when they were bringing the spies in the first 20 minutes of the day. Volume came in and Tesla got stronger, so it gave us a signal. That's a signal, not like a signal from one of the guys on TV or a signal from this or that. The stock gave you a signal because the futures were coming in, and for the first time it wasn't being sold and it was going higher, so when the market went, it went. So anyway, here's 177.38. I'm long some overnight. It's having a little bit of upside follow through. I'm trimming some. I'm going to stay with some, and then it'd be really nice if this gets better. I personally make more money when Tesla's in active long because I traded well. When it goes through pivots, it moves, and anyway, we'll see if it can do that. So trim some if you're still long, and hold some. Tesla's been awesome also. And then you have like some of the one-offs. Remember AI? AI woke up, which we spoke about on Monday. Okay, Tuesday was a little wishy-washy, but I was like, guys, it had a huge move. It has to digest it, and then it got. Then it went through that on Wednesday. That was a nice new move. I haven't traded AI since I got stopped out right there. So you can go back to it. Then you have like something like a UPST, which also was a high valuation name that got annihilated. Some of these things are giving some success and making you some money down here if you know how to approach it. How do you do that? Well, gap up after earnings, held a decent amount of it, got reborn, big wide range candle, inside day, not even, on the top third, and then went again yesterday, and it's probably on its way towards the 26 area. So this is not a leader. This is just a name that was reborn, that if you know how to navigate it, you can make money in something that you haven't been really able to make money in for the past year. Why? Well, look at the action here. This has been, that's why you always go to the weekly chart. It broke 131. It's been in a downtrend since, and now it's finally perking up. So there are some of these things perking up. There are some leaders. There's all types of trades. If you learn and you put the time in, you'll figure out how to play these types of trades, based on a system and a process, which is what I've been doing since, 1998 I started, and now it's 2023. Holy cow, I'm an old bastard. Anyway, I try and say, today's a big day. It's Milburn versus Maplewood. First time in history, Milburn's 8th grade is in the New Jersey playoff tournament. So tonight's a big game. I've been coaching since 2nd grade. It's been a lot of fun. If you've been in my community for a while, youth sports means a lot to me. It's a dress rehearsal for life. So, today the boys are riled up. So we'll see. Hopefully that goes well. Other things that are perking up, like Palantir perked up, another one that was reborn, right? It had a big gap up. It held there. Maybe tries to take out this 1030 and go. You got to look at some weekly charts here too. This was broken here in a 24. Looks like it's on its way to 1140 or maybe even 14. So there are some things that are starting new sequences that you could stay with, which is healthier than just the 6-7 stocks that they're hiding in. Even Snap, look at that. Stock that I friggin' hate, that I've lost a lot of money playing all different sets of earnings calls. Looks like it's filling the gap. So some guys are long. I put some calls on, and we'll see if there's a little bit of a move, towards here. Not towards here, but towards here. So these are all little setups to pay the bills. Some are bigger than others. Some aren't even worthy of your time, but everything's a little bit different. So with that being said, we'll see how it goes. What else? Does anybody want to give me one more ticker to go through? Netflix. Netflix, I talked yesterday that maybe could give you a red dog reversal, and look at that. Even Netflix, after red dog reversal sell when it went above 345, then you had a red dog reversal buy right there. Look at that. Came into the trend line, retested it, and boom, woke up. I didn't trade it yesterday, but we went over it on in Redler All Access on the Alpha team. So anyway, with that being said, tactical things to do. 3 days down, gets back, takes back a low and goes, and that's that. Here, this was from yesterday. A little lethargic, but most did well when they sold above 345. So maybe there's a scalp long around 332. So that's how I do it. If this, then that. If that, then this. I try not to make it too sophisticated because I'm not a very sophisticated guy. I went to SUNY Albany. I went to SUNY Albany, so I didn't have to take on college debt because I was an MC from age 18 to 23. I used to do bar mitzvahs and weddings, traveled back and forth, but was also president of my fraternity, also won the football championship. So you could do a lot if you hustle. I've been hustling my whole life and trying to have a lot of fun with it. So anyway, with that being said, let's hope the debt ceiling is done, that the guys in Washington that are friggin' horrendous get their act together somewhat. I wouldn't mind them spending a little less. And maybe we could even get a candidate that's not over 80 years old from the Dems or the Republicans, and maybe we'll stop listening to the far left and the far right and get some of 95% of the U.S. population, which is a moderate in the middle, but nobody gets attention because the media likes just sensationalism that sells instead of common sense. So let's continue to use common sense. Let's make some money. Let's have some fun. It's May 18th. The summer's coming. And look at life with a glass half full, because if your number is wrong, nothing you can do about it. So do what you can while you're living your life.